Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this October the 11th, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Wednesday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Wednesday evening. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about your forecast for Thursday and Friday. Also, we're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation because we got a lot of precipitation falling across the board. We'll pick out certain locations and we'll show you where the rain is falling. Also, we're going to take a look at the Watches Warning Advisory map because we do have some winter weather advisory, winter storm warnings also over toward the Wyoming and Colorado area, and also toward ports of South Dakota, and also over toward Montana and Utah region. We'll be discussing that as well. Also, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center overview and also the storm report that came in this afternoon, as we do have some hail reports that came in as well. Also, we're going to take a look at Tropical Storm Sean at the end of this broadcast from the National Hurricane Center website, and also that system behind it, which looks to become Tropical Storm Tammy sometime in the near future. Also, if you have not subscribed to my channel, if you know anybody that would love to subscribe to the Mike Bass Weather Forecast channel, consider subscribing to my channel. Tell them to subscribe as well. Also, that way they will not miss a beat of my forecast. And also like these videos, share these videos on social media, so that way more people get a chance to view my forecast content. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, folks. And we're going to try to get some information here on the weather forecast for you right now. Alright, as you can see here, we got some quiet conditions over much of Canada, southern and southwestern portion of Canada as well. Alright, we got quiet conditions over Washington, Oregon State, portion of Idaho, all the way down through Nevada and California, down into the Gulf of California, northwestern Mexico, northern and central Mexico as well, also into New Mexico, Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, also all the way up in the portion of New York State through Virginia, also toward the Delaware, Maryland, and also D.C. vicinity, North Carolina included as well. Some dry conditions also affect for New York City, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Boston, and also toward New Hampshire region as well. Dry conditions expected there. Alright, we got some shower activity up here around the New Brunswick area, also in the portion of Maine, back into Vermont. Also some shower activity also down into the Carolinas, all the way back into northern Georgia and Alabama, portion of Mississippi. More shower activity also in portion of Pennsylvania through Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, back into North Dakota, and portion of Montana as well. We got shower and thunderstorms over southern South Carolina, all the way down into the Florida region, toward Miami area, into the Gulf of Mexico. Also toward Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Also up here in port of Indiana, toward Wisconsin, over to South Dakota, through Nebraska, Kansas, also in Oklahoma there as well. Alright, we got some critical fire weather problems over portion of New Mexico and also in the portion of North Texas and Oklahoma region. The yellow slashed area down here, portion of Florida, and also up here in portions of the Nebraska and Kansas region. Some severe weather possible in these areas here. The red slashed area up here in Iowa, back into South Dakota. We have some flash flooding and heavy rain possible. Also in the white area here, in portion of Wyoming, Colorado, and also New Mexico, and also Montana. We got some heavy snow possible in that region. Also, we have mixed precipitation in the purple here, extending from South Dakota through Nebraska, Colorado, Utah, Idaho, also back into Montana as well. All of this will be happening on your Thursday. Alright, let's move on to your Friday forecast. As you can see here, we got quiet conditions across much of Canada, southeast, central, and southwestern portion of Canada. Also over here in portion of Washington, Oregon State, as far east is portion of northern Minnesota, North Dakota, all the way back down through Nevada, California, the Gulf of California, much of Mexico as well, also through Texas, all the way over toward portion of Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, all the way back into Kansas region as well. The dry conditions also expected up here around portion of New Brunswick, Nova Scotia region, also Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, toward Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island area as well, even including the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Dry conditions are expected for your Friday. Alright, we got some shower activity over northern Maine there. More shower activity over here in portions of portion of southwest Canada, Washington, Oregon, and northern California, even including the coastal waters area there as well. We got some mixed precipitation over here in portions of around the Vancouver, Canada, down towards Seattle, Washington. Also, we got mixed precipitation also falling over here in portions of South Dakota, back into Nebraska and Wyoming. Even have a little area right there in South Dakota. Maybe some heavy snow may be possible in that region. Alright, got showers and storms down here in northeast Mexico and also southern Texas. Also more showers and storms in the Gulf of Mexico over toward Florida, all the way over toward Louisiana to the Carolinas, back to Tennessee, Missouri, all the way back into portions through the Dakotas. Also Nebraska, Minnesota, Wisconsin, also northern Michigan as well. Also all the way far east of New York State through Pennsylvania, Delaware, Virginia as well. Alright, in the red slashed area up here around Wisconsin and also Illinois, portion of Michigan and Indiana, there's some heavy rain and flash flooding possible for your Friday. Alright, let's take a look at the weather radar now across the nation. As you can see here, we got some shower activity up here around New Brunswick, also back into Maine. Scattered activity up here just south of Montreal, back toward the east of Toronto. Got some scattered shower through New York State. More showers and storms up here in portions of Indiana, back into Chicago, back up towards southern Wisconsin, into Iowa, and also into portions of Missouri. Also, we got more scattered showers and storms up here in portions of Nebraska, back to the Dakotas. Also some shower and mixed precipitation up here in portions of Montana. Also in the Wyoming, Denver, Colorado region, Utah, Idaho, back in the western Montana, also northern Idaho, much of portions of Seattle, Washington, south there in the Oregon, also in the Nevada as well. Alright, down here in the southeast, we got this little tropical future bringing some showers and storms across portions of the Bahamas, also across central and northern Florida. More big wide rain shield extended in the Gulf of Mexico, also back toward Louisiana. Also, it extends all the way into portions of Tennessee, back into South Carolina, also back into North Carolina as well. This is maybe some Virga, maybe over the Carolinas right now, but it will continue to moisten up the atmosphere, and the rain will begin to fall later on tonight and into your Thursday morning. All right. Now let's move on to your watches, warning, and advisory map for your location across the nation. Alright, you can see here we still got those gale warnings in effect for coastal waters off the southeast coast, all the way down to the east coast of Florida, same down here around the Florida Keys, all the way back over to southeast Texas. Also more gale warnings in effect over here in portions of South California, all the way to Washington State. Alright, we got some frost advisories over portions of Michigan. Also, we got some hydro issues over portions of Illinois and Indiana. We still got no wind advisory, flood watches in effect down here in Louisiana. We have wind advisories for areas in portions of Oklahoma, also in the Kansas, also much of South Dakota, portions of Montana, also over southern California, central and northeastern Arizona, southeastern Utah, southwestern portions of Colorado, northern portions of you guys in New Mexico, northern Texas, and western Oklahoma as well. Alright, we got a couple severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing in portions of Iowa. We have a high wind watch over much of Nebraska and also into portions of Kansas, also eastern Oklahoma, eastern portions of Colorado, excuse me, and also southeastern portion of Wyoming. We have winter weather advisory, winter storm warnings in effect ongoing in portions of South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, also in the portions of Utah and also Colorado as well. We have some freeze watches also in effect for portions of northern portions of New Mexico, northwestern areas of Colorado, also over here in portions of Nevada as well, and also into northeastern portions of Oregon State. Frost advisory is also in effect for northern California. Freeze warning is also in effect for California, Nevada, southeast Nevada, much of Utah as well. Alright, air quality alerts are in effect for central California. And also we have some special weather statements in effect for North Texas and also portion of Oklahoma. This can also in the portion of Kansas. There could be some fire weather issues there as well. Red flag warnings also in effect for you guys in southeast Colorado. Eastern portions of areas of New Mexico, central New Mexico, and southwestern portions of you guys in Kansas. All right, Alaska looks good, except there's some gale warnings around the area, coastal areas. Storm warning a little further to the south. Hawaii and Chain Island looks a-okay. All right, now Storm Prediction Center overview time. All right, as you can see here, we got some general thunderstorms for portions of Washington and Oregon State, from Idaho, from Nevada as well, far east as portions of Missouri, and all the way over towards the Ohio area, and also into portions of Indiana. Marginal risk up here from Illinois, far west as portions of South Dakota and Nebraska as well. General thunderstorms over portions of Louisiana, South Georgia, South Florida, and the Florida Keys. And there's that marginal risk down in portions of the central and northern Florida region as well. Alright, there's that activity there, all that moisture moving inland. That's what I just showed on the radar, moving to the east-northeast across this area here, bringing some much-needed rainfall to South Carolina. It made it 23 days in Columbia, South Carolina with no rain. I think it probably made about the same here where I'm at, maybe a couple days more, maybe 25 days where I'm at here in South Carolina. Alright, but anyway, let's move on to the current watches none are in effect. MDS, none are in effect. Storm report that came in this afternoon that took place in eastern Iowa. We had three reports of them. Tornado report was 0. Wind reports, high, both of them was 0. Hail report, we had 3. None of them were large. So we just had 4 through the remainder of this evening. Alright, fire weather. We have an elevated risk of fire weather for today over portions of where you seen on the red flag warning in Colorado, back down in the North Texas, portions much of New Mexico, and southern portions of Arizona. Alright, let's see if we can go to the fire weather for tomorrow. As I do see a critical fire weather for portions of the Pacific, for the southwestern United States. We have an elevated risk over here in portions of Southern California. Also, we have an elevated risk in, like I said, New Mexico and in North Texas, all the way in Oklahoma. Also, Kansas, also into areas of Colorado, excuse me. Also, critical fire weather in the red, and this is for North Texas, Oklahoma, and portions of Kansas, also portions of Colorado, and areas in New Mexico as well. This is for your Thursday in that region there. So a critical fire weather means that critical fire weather can ignite wildfire in that region and continue to spread rapidly out of control. Alright, now let's move on to the National Hurricane Center tropical weather page. Alright, as you can see here, here is the tropical storm Sean. The 5 p.m. advisory, it was located near latitude 11.6 north, longitude 35.3 west. Movement is to the west-northwest at 11 knots, or 13 miles per hour. Minimum central pressure 1,006 millibar, and the maximum sustained winds 35 knots, or 40 miles per hour. Alright, now let's take a look at the little tropical wave behind it, which is in Vest 94L. I talked about this afternoon. You're welcome to check out the video from this afternoon, what I did. Alright, a broad area of low pressure located several hundred miles to the south-southeast of the Cabo Verde Islands is producing a large area of shower and thunderstorm. This activity has changed little in organization this afternoon, but environmental conditions appear conducive for some slow development over the next few days. The system should move generally to the west across the eastern central tropical Atlantic early next week. Right now it has a 20% over the next 48 hours and a 30% over the next 7 days. I picked up that tropical wave yesterday afternoon when I did my video. I said the National Hurricane Center needs to monitor this situation closely because there's another tropical wave looks a little suspicious, and I see they picked up on my my suspicions of that system, and that's the one that looks to become Tropical Storm Tammy. We thought this one here in the Gulf of Mexico would become Tammy, but it did not. It did not have a closed circulation, and also the wind speeds were not pretty strong. But it was producing some wind gusts up to Tropical Storm 4, but it's just not classified as a tropical storm. It was just a regular remnant tropical weather, tropical wave pretty much just developed in the Bay of Campeche, and it moved to the north and northeast. But it still could become a tropical storm as it moves off the east coast, because there is some warm water right off the Carolina coast. It could regenerate into something tropical later on down the road. But anyway, hope everybody enjoyed this video. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. Also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not. And I will catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday evening, folks. Take care.